Greetings and salutations. This is Sho'Nuff to bring to you guys an explanatory guide for Atomic for the DPS side for DC Universe Online. This serves as a basis behind the power and for the players that are getting started with the power itself, and give you guys some tips and a loadout for you to get started with. However, this is not a definitive loadout. It will give you some really good damage, and that's only if you have some skill points for this. Please be advised that that I implore that you continue to feat hunt and of course to grind for those skill points to really see the damage potential behind this power itself. Alright, now to go ahead and get started, Atomic for DPS, it's a really unique yet non-linear power, of which that the emphasis is behind atomic combos as well as nuclear and molecular charges, and last but not least the quark gluon aura of which you obtain. All right, now that's of course optional, but of which you can actually achieve, but there are several loadouts you can actually create with this with this power. It is ridiculous. It is absolutely the first power that you can actually sit down, experiment, and have fun. You cannot create, and I repeat, you cannot necessarily create a wrong loadout with this power. You have your mid-range, your long range, and of course your short range or your melee. So you have melee, mid-range, and long range loadouts you can actually create, and there are combos you can actually produce, of which it can oh my goodness, it is so good. I'm gonna let you guys experiment on that, and I implore, and again I implore that if you were to go to your skill tree here or your power tree here, click over to your left, and it gives you a thorough explanation on what this power benefits, or the power benefits, and what they can do, and what this power can do for you as a player, for DPS and as well as for tanking. All right, there is a book here on the tank role and what the quark gluon, your molecular charge, and your nuclear charge, the stacks itself, and what it does for you. It is really good. Now for DPS, I want to start off to say, for your iconic powers, please remember that if anything, this is going to be your default iconic traits, which is weapons expert and tactical genius. Remember that. All right, so to get started, we're going to grab the following. Of course, you're going to start off with a radiate over to the middle. You're going to grab beta surge. You're going to come over here to the side over here to the left, and you're going to grab radiation burn. You're going to continue down the middle to grab neutron bomb and Geiger beam. This loadout is simply known as a Geiger beam loadout, or rather the Geiger loadout. That's what I want to call it. And then over here, you're going to grab proton remedy and atom powered assault. Okay, for nuclear, you're gonna grab the Shoryuken, which of course I have to say that I love that move itself. You're gonna grab thermochemical explosion, atomic reorganization, subatomic substitution, and Geiger blast. That's gonna be your second Geiger power. Again, this loadout is known as a Geiger loadout that I've created. Of course, with a few hints and helps from a few friends, and I sat down and pretty much basically experimented on my own. This, like I said, this is really a complete, comprehensive, if not complex power for you to really get into. Last but not least, you're going to grab nuclear burst. For the final two, you're going to grab tactical genius and weapons expert. All right, that's going to be your final two default there, your default iconic powers you're going to grab. For your loadouts, you're going to go to damage, and you're going to go from left to right because it's going to be due to rotation, and we're going to talk about sideboard a little bit after this. So for left to right, you're going to grab atom powered assault, beta surge, nuclear burst, neutron bomb, Geiger beam, and Geiger blast. That's going to be your Geigers is going to be at the end here. So again, from left to right, atom powered assault, beta surge, nuclear burst, neutron bomb, Geiger beam, and Geiger blast. So the rotation is going to go like so. Basically, you have 2 AMs in this. So if you was to do this rotation here, this is going to be a rotation from left to right, if you were to do that rotation, you receive some power back. However, your power back also is going to come from atom powered assault, and then you do this rotation. So you're going to basically start from here. You're going to go to beta surge, nuclear burst, and neutron bomb, and then you're going to finish off with either Geiger beam or Geiger blast. All right, but you just can't do both because, however, you're not going to dish out the best damage. Your damage is going to come from completing this rotation, and then you're going to finish off with Geiger beam or Geiger blast. So let's see how the rotation looks like in action. With Geiger beam, and then of course with Geiger blast. That's more of a group. So if you was in the middle, finish off with Geiger blast. This is off some, some solid damage. So it hits twice. Of course, your crits will come at the end, and that is some really, really solid damage. All right. Now, again, you're gonna start off with atom powered assault. That's gonna be a buff. Your Geiger beam, and then of course, if you're right here in the middle, you can go right here with Geiger blast. That's gonna be your option too. And of course, your crits is going to come at the end. It's going to be very heavy. For me to have 80 skill points and to be at the CR that I'm at for my DPS, I have reached at least 40, between 48 to maybe 55k in damage. Even when at lower levels, I have definitely achieved some 50k, or rather some 20, 30k plus damage, which is pretty solid at tier 1. Okay, so again, at tier 1, that is really solid. So I've went through some of these instances, early on with little to no problems whatsoever. So, but again, I implore that you obtain more skill points to get the most out of your powers. This power set is, or rather atomic is might base, unlike celestial and rage, which of course is more precision because of course it has because it has its own combo sets as well. This is all might. All right, this is all might. Okay, so again, you're gonna do this long range. This is a long range loadout here. That's Geiger beam. If you're in here in the middle, come up close, mid range, Geiger blast. Now you can actually substitute. You can you can swap out Geiger beam for proton remedy, and that will also give you access to quark gulan. Well, actuality, let me make sure I'm out of. Let me make sure I'm out of. I am out of what's his name here. So if you, now the thing of it is that if you were to do a combo, make sure you get the second hit there, then activate your proton remedy, and that will activate the power itself. If you were to complete the loadout, rather if you complete the rotation and you finish off with Geiger blast, that ends, your quark gulan ends. So you can just go to your second hit of the combo, activate your quark gulan. You can use proton remedy. That activates your quark gulan, and of course you'll still be able to heal. And as long as you'll be able to do that, that ends it. But however, your quark gulan, once it activates, it gives you a nice aura and also dishes out some really solid damage at that point. Oops. And it doesn't matter which power you use. Because as long as you perform these combos, it refreshes it. It refreshes your quark gulan. All right, so it refreshes your quark gulan, and as long as that activates, you're good. You also have your self heals, it is really something you could check out. You can swap out the powers however you choose. You can, to whichever would benefit you the most. If you have a better loadout than this, you're more than welcome to actually purvey your loadout, and I can definitely do a video about it to actually test it out, give you credit for it, and actually get you some recognition. All right, this is Sho'Nuff, guys. If you do like this video, please share it around. You can also go to DCUOblogguide.com to actually check out some of their content. And of course, you can never be too old to game, guys. Love what you do and do what you love. For the love of the game, Sho'Nuff. And thanks for watching.